Okay, again, it's Robert C. Dupree. Now, I want to bring something out concerning the settlement of full release. You know, when General Mills was sued, for racial discrimination, wrongful and retaliatory termination back here in the federal court back here in October, I believe 28th of 2001. And after returning an attorney, who clearly seen all this, every time the attorney was talking about Jeffrey Sutton. And to get to the point that I wanted to bring out, another thing that General Mills definitely don't want to be made known is that not only does evidence shows here in this exhibit book, if you could see here, where it speaks about, let me read this here to make it a little better here. In the United States District Courts for the Western District of Missouri, Western Division, case number 10-0376-CV-W-GAF. Robert C. Dupree, plaintiff pro se versus General Mills, Operation Inc. or Capital Inc. as the defendants. Not only in this book here that is filed obviously within the courts shows that the settlement of full release was a product of fraud and deceit based off of a young lady's yearly wage, but it also shows that this lawsuit filed against General Mills, it was in the millions of dollars. This was something that my former attorney never discussed and talked with me, but yet I have evidence here in legal documents, and they have it as well. And that's again why General Mills all the more wanted to make sure that the truth be hid, kept, and made this settlement a product of fraud and deceit. I'm going to make it a little more plainer here. Now here in this book, I want to look and show what damages that my former attorney had brought forth concerning these issues here about the damages and things and regarding to how I have been desperately been treated wrongfully and everything else and all that, like everything's right here in this book here. But see, there was 4 damages, particularly A, B, and C. A, some of special damages, and this is pertaining to just my back pay alone, and interest was to be added on to this as well. It was $60,416.92, and as I stated earlier, interest were to be added on to that. That's the only thing he talked to me about, was that. He never mentioned anything about B and C. B is general damages, and that was consisting the amount of $189,583.08. Oh no, he never mentioned anything about that. And C, he definitely didn't mention anything about it. And this is punitive damages in dollars and cents. 2.5 million. Say that one again. 2.5 million. So this lawsuit here, General Mills knew it was fully more than worth in the millions of dollars, but yet General Mills had gotten my former attorney Jeffrey Sutton in the Barnett and Jamison law firm, who he was attorney of record of, to coerce, lie, and deceive me into signing something that was totally false and fraudulent in the regards based up off of a young lady's yearly wage. And I didn't find all this out until after everything was said, done, and finalized, and I finally had retrieved my file. And then I noticed that he didn't even talk to all my witnesses. And many witnesses during that particular time was more than willing to take this to a juror trial and not only testify on how I've been treated, but also to give their own personal testimonies of how they have been treated and discriminated against by General Mills down here. Well, and my former attorney, he had people more than willing to speak and talk with him, but he only talked it to 2. Evidence shows again within this book, exhibit book here, including myself, there was about 15 or 16 witnesses who was more than willing to come to my attorney. But that never really happened. I wonder why. There's no wondering why. General Mills made sure that didn't happen, because General Mills knew that if this case ever went to court and got before a juror, and then the attorney had already put down in here the amount and the damages things after looking at the evidence that General Mills did. And what's even more ironic about this here, even evidence even clearly shows that my attorney didn't even take a thorough and full investigation, which is required by law. Federal laws, matter of fact, of Civil Procedures 26A. That is required for any attorney, especially in a civil matter, to receive and to follow through by this, following this here law, to get all the evidence and to get all the witnesses and those who have evidence to dispute anything that consists of wrongdoings. He didn't even do that, but yet there was enough evidence that he did present to General Mills that it was a case that was worth millions. And this again is why General Mills is viciously and vigorously fighting to make sure this never gets out. Because if General Mills been sued for racial discrimination, wrongful retaliation, and was sued for in the millions, that would be a major embarrassment and humiliation to General Mills, and especially this kind of money given to a black man, please. Oh no, that they definitely didn't want nothing like that to happen. And they did everything under the law, behind the law, beneath the law, and any other criminal act that they can come with conspiracy and deprivation of civil rights to see to it that that didn't happen. But nevertheless, the courts has all this information, docket, and this is what General Mills want to keep quiet. So that was another hidden figure that General Mills do not want to be in the courts, let alone out here to the media, about how that this case was really worth millions. And this is certainly something that General Mills definitely did not want to bring out and come out, and did everything they could to make sure. And they made sure that that didn't happen. And mainly because they did not allow this case to get before a juror. Someone who would obviously see the facts and the evidence as supporting laws. How that whites were treated differently and doing similar things that they allege and accuse me of, and even fabricated. Now there was mistakes and things that was made, but then when whites had done it, there was a whole total different treatment and how it was. And especially when it comes to the retaliation and the vindictiveness and how I have been treated, because I've constantly complaining about how I've been discriminated against about this particular supervisor, and General Mills did everything they could to protect that supervisor. And I have everything right here, not only just in the book, but there's things also in recordings. This also was filed in with the courts. So there's a lot of stuff here that General Mills want to keep hush hush and quiet. So this lawsuit in this case here that was filed against General Mills, from my own personal experience, and evidence shows it was worth millions. And again, General Mills did not by no means want this here to be out. But nevertheless, the truth will come out, just like what Scripture says. There's nothing done in the dark that shall not be revealed in the light. So however, in God's own time, He reveals whatever need to be revealed. And so here it is again. And my former attorney was fully aware of this, because these are legal documents that he had presented and talked it to General Mills, unbeknown to me at the time, about the $189,000 and then the $2.5 million. Hell, he ain't never said nothing to me about that. Matter of fact, why is it that all this here is coming out with all these figures like this here? Why is it that the figure come up to only $35,371.09 that was based totally dollar for dollar, penny for penny, dime for dime off of a young lady's yearly wage, who I made more than she did at the time, because I was utility, and at the time that was sweeper's pay, based up off of what she had made during that particular time of year, when she was a sweeper. And right after they had terminated me back over here in December 27th of 99, they based it up off of her yearly wage. And keep in mind, during this particular time, I had no idea. This was definitely something was to be confidential, and it's all right here in this exhibit book, even that right there, where they had it even marked and circled confidential concerning this young lady's yearly wage that she had made of that $35,371.09. And that would, believe me, what I'm saying here is something that was never supposed to be intended for me to even find out. But yet, the good Lord had allowed it to be. And this is why I come when I found this here out, and also found out that he didn't talk to all my witnesses. And he even stated, again, it's right here in the exhibit books. And so when I say it's in the exhibit books, believe me, it's in the courts. You cannot leave no witnesses out in the interrogatory. You can't leave no witnesses out. You can't leave no information out. You can't leave any of these things out, because if you do, well, the penalty is that these individuals will not be allowed to come and to testify in the courts. And that will hurt your case. All in legal documents. And this is in his own handwriting and stuff that he presented and given to me. And I'd wonder why come he never prepared me for mediation. Now, he prepared me for deposition. Yeah, well, deposition and been prepared for mediation is two totally different things. Mediation, he kind of look at, we're talking about trying to come to a settlement and agreement to resolve this matter. Well, that never was done. No, that never was done. That never was done. And I guess based upon the evidence that the Lord had blessed me to see, well, then I see why. Because General Mills got my former attorney to aid in the conspiracy right along with him. And then from that point, when he AWOP and turned his back against me in violation of my rights and civil rights that go along with General Mills and him round up over here, well, then I see there's a whole lot of stuff that he had left out. And even after they coerced me into signing these documents and things around up over here, there was additional terms and things that was added that I knew wasn't on the original documents and things that he had me to sign. And what was added also on there was any and all laws, known, right, known, or unknown, that I may have had rights to any other damages. Whether it's state law, federal law, common laws, any other laws, known or unknown. Well, that was all wiped out, and they stated as if I fully was aware of this here and agreed that this was okay. Freeing General Mills and any other facilities or partners or whatever else that General Mills have now or even in the future. Any employees or anyone that I may have right to come back under federal laws, state laws, city laws, ordinance, or whatever. Well, they just made sure that all that was totally wiped out. And then they alleged that I voluntarily agreed. So this is, again, what General Mills don't want known. And when I was filing complaints and filed suit against General Mills and their former attorney and things around up over here, especially when I first filed suit against my former attorney, Jeffrey Sutton, and the Barnett and Jamison law firm, you know, back over here in the Wyandotte court. It was like in 2003 of October. Well, you know, the judge that was originally over that case, he seen what was presented, and he ordered this case for trial. Well, guess what? When that case was originally ordered for trial that this judge was going to be over, they removed that judge off the case and put another judge on there who ruled against me in the favor of the defendants. That was not no mistake. Again, General Mills and how they have their persuasion by whatever means, by whatever method. Well, they made sure that the original judge that was on this case over in the Wyandotte court, he was moved off it for whatever means that brought that about. Well, he wasn't able to stay, allowed to stay on that case, and another judge got on there and ruled against me and ruled in the favor, despite that this prior judge had ruled that this case will go to trial. That is, well, anyway, oh yeah, it went to trial all right. Yeah, they totally denied and dismissed it. So anyway, yeah, based upon you know, not finding the facts and all the so forth, just like what they always come up and talk about anyway, it's then ruled in the favor of the defendants. So nevertheless, and this is what the constant battle going on and on and on. So the fact about the settlement of full release, that's what I'm saying. It was negotiated by fraud, deceit. General Mills knew, the former attorney and them knew that this case here was worth millions. And they made sure they did not allow this to go by no means in the courts before a juror. Oh, that was a no-no. And again, I am still making a stand against the evil and the corruption that has been done, and then still here and now involving with the new lawsuit involving with this judge Gary A. Feiner. You know, he have no business even being on this case. So this stems and go back from years, and the battle is still going on and on and on. And you know, so, and he was fully talking about the judge Gary A. Feiner now here involving now with the new lawsuit, because he was still involving with this here in dealing with General Mills, and that's why he dismissed the case in its entirety with prejudice. So it's just a lot of you know, this type of conspiracy and Jim Crow conspiracy around here is no more than legalized slavery. You know, and not only it's just about me, myself, and I. This is my personal experience with General Mills, involving and still dealing with the courts and so forth. But it could be you next, if it's not already. And this type of injustice that corporation, as in this case of mine, is General Mills and other entities and the unions and them and their attorneys and so forth, can persuade certain lawyers and judges and things around up over here who have sworn to uphold the Constitution and the law and to do right by it, to get them to turn a deaf ear and a blind eye and look the other way, and violation, and knowing they are violating civil and constitutional rights by conspiracy and violating rights that the law protects of its citizens for by whatever means. They know it ain't right. Well, you know, that kind of practice and that kind of behavior condones and promotes legalized slavery behind the color of law. And so it goes way beyond just me, myself, and I, and Robert Dupree. And when I brought these things also to our congressman, Emmanuel Cleaver, who is my 5th district representative and congressman, even though he alleged that he's not able to do anything about it, he's constitutionally prohibited from getting involved and going forth and doing anything. Well, then the information, if that's what he's saying is true, if it's true, the information that has been provided to him should be passed over to those who can, to the congressional committee, and whoever it is that make laws and make the law, that anyone who can file a complaint against a federal judge for judicial misconduct, well, hand it over to them. Simple as that. If you're not able to do anything about it, hand it over to them. So you have all this information and stuff around there. So anyway, that's again I wanted to bring out to the American peoples, you know, that what General Mills definitely didn't want to know concerning this lawsuit that was filed against them. You know, in my own personal experience involving with it, this case was worth millions. And General Mills certainly do not want that to go on court docket and record and public notice or whatever it is, that this is what they were sued for. So they come up with their fraudulent scheme to make sure that it was based up off of someone's yearly wage of the least of the least. And if it was halfway done, something called right, why come it didn't go with the back pay? That was over $60,000. Oh no, no. They're gonna give them the least of the least. And that's exactly what they did. And it was all done by fraud and deceit. Send things through the mail, and that constitute mail fraud. So there's a whole lot of stuff, because it's not true of their statement that they're saying that what they're saying is true. And especially when they got up there talking about I didn't file in a timely manner. It's just a whole lot of stuff that they just want to keep hush and quiet behind the scenes among themselves, and everything's supposed to be all right. No. According to law, it's criminal. According to law, it's fraudulent. So, and through the grace of God, according to law, I will continue to make a stand for my rights in the name of Jesus, unless the Lord say different. So, however, I wanted this to be known to the American peoples as well.